Hey everybody, I'm here today with a driving tutorial on making right and left turns. In this video, I'll be going over the absolute basics for turning right and left. I'll be showing you, as a beginner driver, how to make right and left turns. Now, I figured the best way to do this is by demonstrating and explaining at the same time. So rather than starting by explaining what to do like I do in many of my videos, I'm gonna just start driving and I'll tell you as I'm doing it. All right, so there are basically a few aspects of turning right and left. The first aspect that I'll be going over are the checks that you should be doing and the safety procedures that you should be going through. So basically, when you turn right or left, you're always going to have to put your signal on, check your rear view mirror, check your side mirror on the side that you're turning towards, and check your side blind spot on the side that you're turning towards. So up ahead, I will be making a right-hand turn, and I'll be putting my right signal on, checking my rear view mirror, checking my right side mirror, checking my right blind spot, all before you turn. That all happens before you actually make the turn. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna make a right turn up ahead, right signal goes on, I'm checking my rear view mirror, my right side mirror, my right blind spot. Now I'm checking the intersection and I'm turning, okay? Now that's the first aspect, is doing your checks. So once again, it's signal, rear view mirror, side mirror that you're turning on, and then side blind spot on the side that you're turning on. You're also going to come to a complete stop if you have to, depending on the situation. And you're also going to check the intersection, obviously, to make sure that it's safe and also legal to make the turn. If it says no right-hand turns, don't make a right-hand turn. If it says no left-hand turns, don't make a left-hand turn. It's as simple as that. I don't want you to do anything that you're not supposed to do, and I definitely don't want you to get a ticket. So the next aspect is slowing down. Now, if you have a stop sign when you're turning right or left, and I'll demonstrate many more times in this video, you're obviously gonna come to a stop. If you have to stop because you don't have the right of way, then you're obviously gonna stop. If you don't have to stop because there's no stop sign and you have the right of way, then you're gonna proceed with caution. Now, all of this happens, well, like I said, you're always gonna scan the intersection. Even if you have the right of way, scan the intersection to make sure that, that no one else is there and that you have the right of way and that they're letting you go. So up ahead, I'm going to be making a right-hand turn. I'm going to do all of the checks, but I'm going to tell you what to do with regards to your speed. There's no stop sign, so I'm going to put my right signal on, rear view mirror, right side mirror, right blind spot, slowing down, now making the turn, and now as I've completed the turn, I'm accelerating. So what you're doing when you're not coming to a complete stop, when you're turning right or left, is you're slowing down before you start turning, then you're maintaining that slower speed throughout the turn, and then you're accelerating after the turn. So for instance, these are all stop signs, but I'll go through a few more without stop signs. But for instance, let's say I'm driving 40 kilometers an hour. I'm gonna slow down to, let's say, 30 kilometers an hour before I start the turn. Then I'm gonna maintain that slower speed of 30 kilometers an hour throughout the turn. And once I finish the turn, I'm gonna accelerate again back to 40 or 50 or whatever the case is. Here's a left turn without a stop sign. Signal, rear view mirror, left side mirror, left blind spot. Slowing down, maintaining the slower speed while the wheel is turned. Now that I'm finished the turn, I'm accelerating. You can probably see and hear the engine revving, okay? Now, that is the case when you don't have a stop sign and when you have the right of way, basically when you don't have to come to a complete stop. But right here, I have a stop sign, I have to come to a complete stop. If you have to come to a complete stop, you're gonna do all of the checks and you're gonna scan the intersection. This is a four-way stop, so I like looking left, straight, right, left. I have the right of way, I'm clear to go, so I'm gonna turn just like that. So either slow down and go through the procedure for slowing down, or come to a complete stop and go through the procedure for checking the intersection for coming to a complete stop, okay? Either way, if you don't have the right of way, allow the other person to go. If you do have the right of way, then take the right of way and proceed with caution. Don't just go, proceed with caution. Now, the third aspect of making right and left turns that I'm gonna go over is steering. And in my opinion, this is the hardest part to master, because as a beginner driver, you can remember those checks, signal, rear view mirror, side blind spot, look at the intersection, potentially make your turn, right? You can easily remember those checks. You can remember the slowing down procedure, or you can remember to come to a complete stop. That's pretty simple. But steering is a bit more difficult to master. Now I'm gonna pull over for this while I explain it. What you wanna do is you want to basically take your steering wheel and you want to be able to turn the wheel, hold it throughout the turn, and release it. And when you release it, the wheel should turn back to being straight, just like that. And when you release it, don't remove your hands like that. You want to keep your hands roughly around the wheel, but the wheel should turn back. So let's go ahead. I'll show you what it looks like. Watch, and I'm only going to go over the steering. I'm done talking about the safety checks and the slowing down, stopping procedure. Let's just look at the steering, because it is probably the most hard to master part. So once again, doing all of my checks, watch the steering. Turning the wheel, holding it in the same spot, releasing it, just like that. Now, one of the key aspects of doing this properly is to practice. When you're just beginning to drive, it's gonna be hard for you to turn the wheel and to the exact right position, pretty much, hold it there and release it. Of course, right? See what I just did there? It's gonna be difficult to do that because you're just learning to drive. As you practice, you'll get better and better. Now, here is a key tip for the steering procedure. It is to use micro adjustments. Micro adjustments are just small adjustments that you do with the steering wheel. You're just, throughout the turn, I tell you, you're gonna be holding it in the exact same position, but I'm making tiny, tiny, tiny little incremental adjustments throughout the turning process. Watch this. Turning the wheel, holding it in the same position, but I'm making little adjustments, and then I release it. Now, we're not robots, so we're not gonna be able to turn the wheel in the exact position and hold it there. That's not how it works. We're gonna get it to the position where it's 99.9% correct, we'll say, something like that, right? And I make little micro adjustments to make up for that 0.1%. That's what the micro adjustments are for. I don't expect you to do it 100% properly. I just expect you to get into the habit of getting really close. Then you can make little micro adjustments to perfect it. And that's basically it. That has been a beginner driving tutorial for making right and left turns. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.